Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. It's a feeling now. Get 'em high, get 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
That's our Canna Kings with Here We Go. This is the Piffles Podcast, your Saskatchewan Roughriders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us here on Tuesday night this week. As always, you got me. I'm Alex.
And Steve's on mute. Yes.
Good start, Steve.
And I'm
The guy-
still Steve.
The guy
boy.
ducks away for a week and forgets how to hit the...
How was I on mute? It auto unmutes after the song. I blame Greg.
I should have just kept on going and see how long until you noticed.
Next time.
Next time.
There will be a next time.
Thanks for joining us on the live stream on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Watching on YouTube later or SaskTel Max TV on demand. And of course, wherever you get your favorite podcasts, we appreciate you making us one of those for some silly reason. I don't get it, but we appreciate it. Thank you. Piffles Podcast, of course, is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Check us out on social media. Again, TikTok blowing up. Thank you, Tommy Stevens, for having that one go. I mean, as viral as my face will ever go. So thank you, Tommy Stevens. But we're on TikTok, on all the social medias at Piffles Pod. I'm at Real Alex D.
And you can hear me at Safamod.
Hear you?
Because you can hear
I'm
him
not on
now.
mute this
He's
time.
not on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're whatever. And I
Shut up, Greg.
do not need nor want your pity follows at Greg on Sports.
We gotta have fun with something this week because that game last week sure
Oh.
wasn't fun. So, well,
Woof.
yeah. Well, it's Tuesday. We're doing our question of the week. So we'll get things started in the opening kickoff with that. So let's get to it. So this week's Piffles Podcast question of the week: who is your favorite obscure Rough Rider of all time? I want to throw out a couple that we got on our social media right now, and then I want to get one of you guys to jump in. I'll jump in later because I think everybody knows who I'm going to say, even if they haven't seen my my post about it. But some of the nice ones that I liked were we had Rock and Roll Preston. Too bad those guys
Dodge
didn't.
names.
Yeah. Trent Richardson, who is here in the Chris Jones era, running back. David said Preche Rodriguez. And Randy had Joe Lobendon
There's a good one.
back in the day. So there's a few there. Who wants to jump in? Who's your favorite obscure rider of all time?
I'm a big
Right.
fan of undersized players. Give me a hint. Henri Childs, little dude, hell of a running back. I liked him.
Henri Childs wasn't little.
And to me, he was.
He was a big dude. He was like
Was he?
6'2".
Was he? He always
He
seemed
was-
smaller than that.
Yeah. 2000. He was on the 2007 team. Got replaced by Wes Cates. He scored the only touchdown in the game in the season opener against Montreal. It was a
I thought he
reception.
was small. Why am I thinking?
Oh, he was a tall dude. I remember that.
Maybe. I don't know. What is he?
I see Greg did his homework this week.
Hey, it's who we remember. If I looked it up, it was like, how do you look up an
Nothing-
obscure player?
Nothing more obscure than the mini-me version of Henri Childs.
It's not like I said Eddie Davis.
That said, that's a good obscure pick, though. I will always remember that one touchdown catch against Montreal, and then a couple days later, the Riders traded Rob Lazio away to Calgary for Wes Cates, and the rest was history in 2007. So, Henri Childs, though, that's a good one. That's a very obscure rider. When you say obscure, you got to think and be like, a lot of people would be like, who?
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're learning
want
some
you-
people in Rider Nation are not familiar with the term obscure.
Yeah, I mean, some are so obscure to you, depending on when you became a fan, how far you go back with the team's history. So there's some really good ones out there. Drop them in the comments in the chat here, guys. We want to see who your favorite obscure rider of all time is. Steve, I think I know what yours is. You already know what mine is. We'll get to those in a little bit, but drop them in the comments. We want your favorite obscure rider of all time. Well, that game last week in Hamilton, Greg, we did the post-game show. Steve, you were out. You were doing the smart thing. You were camping, so you didn't really watch much of it.
I only watched the bad half, so maybe it was my fault.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't miss
good half.
You didn't miss much in the first half either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Riders losing 26-19 to Hamilton, dropping their record to 6-3. But to me, it was. I mean, Greg, we talked about it. It was frustrating to watch at the time. I've come around on it a little bit. I'm not upset by it. And just to kind of clarify, it was one of those I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed games. And the reason was because I expect so much more out of this team, out of a Corey Mace team, than to just completely shut down in the second half. After they got their field goal in the third quarter and got up 19-10, both sides of the football just completely shut down. And that was the frustrating part to me.
Oh, it was like they threw their scarf around their neck and went, that's the end of that chapter. Like, it was just
max power.
A little max power there. It's just that fourth quarter was just, I don't even know how to put words to it, because it's funny. I went back and went to the Riders page after the game, and you could just, like, you seeing their graphics for the score, and you see the third quarter one, and then you see the fourth quarter one, and you just have to look and go, how the hell did this happen? Like, it was just an embarrassing quarter.
There's an easy way to describe how it happened. The Riders seemed to be allergic to playing football against Trey Ford. Every time he came on with Edmonton, he dominated us. Comes in the fourth quarter and did exactly the same thing. He did enough to win. It's almost as if the team said, Trey Ford's in. There's no way they're winning this. We can take our foot completely off the gas and coast, forgetting there was an entire quarter of football.
And I said it on the post-game show, the worst thing they did was get close to him, because anytime you get close to Trey Ford, he runs around and he can make those throws when he's ad-libbing and playing street ball. The best thing the Riders could have done is not rush him. Rush 3, drop 8. That should have been their plan right there. Make him think. Trey Ford has shown when you give him time and you make him think, he can't make throws, he can't read past his first progression. So it was a poorly coached second half against Trey Ford, and to not get a first down after their field goal in the third, that was embarrassing. And that's on coaching. Obviously, the players didn't execute. Mark Mueller's game plan wasn't good enough. Props to Hamilton. They have a good, solid defensive squad there. Outside of the quarterback position, that's still a very good football team. But
would you say Hamilton Spurgeon won?
This is going to be one of the questions of the week sometime soon. What name is banned? And Spurgeon win from Family Supper, when you're sitting down, whose name is, I know Tony Gabriel's banned, Spurgeon Wynn is another one. And Duncan O'Mahony. Those guys are banned from this show.
Should find a way to AI it, so if you say those names, you instantly drop from the stage.
I'm sure there's a way to do that. But yes, and honestly, with that game, the way I look back at it, because there were a couple good things in the first half, we'll talk about that too. But it was the injuries. The injuries finally caught up to them. I don't want to say they've been overachieving with their backups, and winning a few games over the last, previous weeks, but it finally caught up to them, especially on offense. There was just nothing that the receivers weren't open. When Keyshawn Johnson's your number one guy and teams can focus on just him, when you don't have a Sam Emilus and Kean Schaefer-Baker around him, and no offense to Del Duncan Busby, Deshaun Mims, Daniel Weeb, Johnny Johnson III, but nobody's running scared of them. you're not terribly worried about those guys. You'll take your chances one-on-one against them. Let's focus on stopping Keyshawn Johnson. And that's what Hamilton did. So kudos to them for a better game plan. And it was just Trevor Harris needed some help, and he just didn't get it.
Well, you had the problems with receivers, and then we were on our fourth running back this season technically. Like, I am surprised TBH didn't get the ball more over Star. And don't get me wrong, he looked decent, but then they got away from the running game completely. Injuries, yes, but once again, I think they outcoached themselves because they definitely didn't get outcoached by Hamilton.
And then, of course, more injuries. Keyshawn Johnson at the end of the game, limping, went with it was a non-contact injury, but it didn't look like it was terribly serious. Knock on wood. We won't find out until practice on Wednesday when the team finally hits back on the field. But oh boy, if Keyshawn has to miss any sort of time, hopefully Sam Emilus is back right away. But with Keen Schaefer-Baker out long term, like, ooh, what do they do at receiver?
If Keyshawn Johnson is out for any length of time, and you brought up Dylan's comment, they have to make that phone call at that point. If they can't keep running with the twos and expect to keep up, and they're coming into a very difficult stretch of the schedule with BC, then Winnipeg. They got Montreal a couple times in October. Like, they've kind of gone through the free spaces on the bingo card. It's a lot of difficult games from here on in for a while. So if there's anything serious with Keyshawn, I think they make that call.
Well, Geno Lewis posted a picture from inside a plane on his Instagram. So he's going somewhere tonight. Where he ends up, who knows? But I wasn't on board with signing Keyshawn before, with signing Geno before. But now I think I said on the post-game show, like, it's almost imperative that Jeremy O'Day has to be calling. And just, they got to do something right now. And a vet would help them out. Even if he's not going to be the explosive player that he was just a few years ago, that's okay. They just need another guy in there that can come in and bail out Trevor Harris. So hoping that he's en route to Regina, but I personally won't hold my breath, but I would like it. That would be a very nice Wednesday morning announcement by the team on their social medias before practice starts. So we'll monitor that. They did bring in another receiver last week. It was Rashad Owens. Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
I was going to say 3 down will have it before they put a statement out anyway.
Well, somebody's got to be at the airport.
Yeah. I was going to say, anyone around the airport, just go and just wait it out. See what happens.
Yeah. But there was good stuff from that game, and we all have to kind of eat crow on this one. Alex Hale. We were hoping that maybe Dawson Hodge would potentially get a shot since he was getting all the practice reps last week. Hale hit all his field goals, including a 48 and a 52-yarder, and hit his extra point. So he had a very good bounce back game. So clearly the message from Corey Mace got through to him, and clearly the star of the game because he was perfect in that one.
It had
He's
to
starting
happen.
to make the kicks. You know what? And they gave him shots from beyond 40, which I liked.
Yes,
That's
the confidence was big. Yep.
And other than the one that kind of squeaked in, it wasn't like their question marks. So he's earned himself at least a couple more games to work it through. And maybe he's just like Lothar. He needed somebody to come in and look over his shoulder and give him that, oh no, I might not have a job tomorrow confidence, because nobody was signing him if he got cut from here.
And let's be honest, like, he's supposed to be a professional kicker. Like, this is why he has a job in this league. So you'd have to think at some point he would get it together. It just seemed like it took forever.
And hopefully that was the trend that we saw with Brett Lothar, was that once he finally figured it out in 2024, he was the best kicker in the league post Labor Day, right? So hopefully that's something that we see from Alex Hale. And Steve, just to stress on that point again, they gave him those chances to kick longer field goals. The confidence was put in place. I know Dave Thomas, when he did one of his morning show hits with the guys from Edmonton Sports Talk, Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric, he said that they were shielding him for some reason. The Riders were shielding Alex Hale, protecting him from long kicks. Well, he's clearly has the leg for it. That's not the issue. Is it just his accuracy? And he turned in a good one. So the confidence should build from there. And hopefully we start seeing this team start kicking field goals from 45 yards and beyond.
Especially when they need the points.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we won't talk too much more about that game. I mean, it sucked. It was good seeing Johnny Johnson III get his first career touchdown. I did like how quick he bounced up from
good heads up play.
Kind of that play. Diving catch, right? So to get up and before he got touchdown, although if he would have been touchdown with the one, we would have got a Tommy Stevens touchdown and kept that record pace kind of going, but without no touchdowns. I don't know if that Milt Stegall record's gonna be reachable now.
He still has 6 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Average that out, he's still on pace.
I still don't understand why they kicked that short field goal when they were they should have went to Tommy time at least a couple just to try to get close. Tommy's proven he can get 6 yards if he needs to. It just seemed really. And I'm not saying do that on the third down, but they probably could have put the Tommy package in once they were past the 10-yard line.
Would have liked to see the Tommy package throughout the game, but again, just to harp on the point there with Star Thomas, whoever your running back is going to be, whether it's him or TBH, just keep that run game going. Yep. It's not like it was bad in the first quarter. Like I know overall, when you look at it, I think it was 14 carries or 12 carries for 45 yards, not a great average. But Star Thomas had a couple really nice runs, and just Hamilton knew that they could just ignore the run. So just keep them honest a little bit. Try some outside pitches. I know they did a lot of screen passes, especially in the first half, to try and be that extension of the run game. That did not go well. Hopefully that page of the playbook got crumpled up and thrown away. But ultimately, you just kind of look at this game and you just glad it was on the road, so we didn't pay to go to it. So if you're gonna have a stinker, and I mean only losing by 7. It's not a getting blown out or anything. So maybe stinker was the wrong word, but just to have that kind of a second half effort, then good thing it was probably on the road instead of home.
And the good news is the 2 games we dropped to the East were both away games, so we don't need to worry about them that way.
One thing that came up from our post-game show, Rick asked the question, and Greg, we wanted to talk about this. Does a trade for A.J. Allen make sense? Obviously, with all the Canadians being hurt for the Riders, Canadian depth is one thing that they could definitely use more of. A.J. Allen lost a starting job to, is it Daniel Cormier?
Not Daniel. Daniel's the
that's the UFC guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude named Cormier.
Cormier.
Yeah. But anyway, AJ Allen's now a backup. Still gets in the rotation quite a bit. He was actually on defense a lot last week for Ottawa. But Rick says, does the trade for AJ Allen make sense? Steve, what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, if he's going to be a backup in Ottawa, and assuming he got a good chunk of money in a signing bonus, the way we're dropping Canadians right now, being able to flip that roster spot would be well worth it. I think it'd be a good move. He's a clear fit in this defense, and they're missing that guy that gets to the ball. It's just there's something missing in that defense right now, other than Roland Milligan, that I think AJ Allen would bring. Yep, and AJ Allen had a nose for the ball. Anytime there was a ball on the turf, he seemed to be within arm's reach. So he might be what this defense needs. Now, the question is going to be, how much is Ottawa going to ask for the highest paid Canadian defensive player? And it's probably going to be a pretty penny.
Well, that's the thing, though. You might be able to wait it out. I don't think the ask is going to be too high, because if they want to get out of that contract, I don't think it'd be that hard to get him. But at the same time, this is the CFL. typically, unless they want to keep the highest paid defensive player as a rotational player, I guess that's why the Ottawa Red Blacks are in the situation they're in. But I think they cut him before they trade him. I really do.
I can't see that happening, which means I don't think they're going to trade him either. I think they'll stick it out this year with him and see what they can get possibly in the offseason.
Yeah, he's not going to be a Red Black next year.
I don't think so. But stemming from this, the Riders 6-3 on the season still, halfway mark, on pace for last year they were 12-6 to finish the year. So 12-6 is still in the possibilities. Just have another same second half as they did in the first half. Are you guys happy with what you've seen from the Riders so far this year at the halfway mark?
Given all of the injuries that they've suffered at this point in the season, 6-3 is more than you could have hoped for. You know, they've played a couple of tough games with a lot of key guys out and a lot of key Canadians out, especially. If you told me that we would have lost 3 starting receivers, our MOP defensive back, an O lineman minutes before kickoff, like it just seems to be piling up. So 6-3 is a win at this point.
I just find it funny. The games that we lost were not games I would have thought we lost. 6-3 makes sense to me, but the Argos, Ticats, maybe the Elks, I probably called that one that home and home. I would have gave one to the Elks. But yeah, losing to the Argos and losing to the Ticats definitely were not on my bingo card. So they're gonna have to play good football. Like we got Winnipeg, obviously we got BC twice, Calgary again, Montreal twice. Like the back half of this schedule is going to be rough. Like,
really hoping that Montreal pulls away in the East so they can start resting guys in those back-to-back games.
Well, and then
pretty confident in that happening.
And then you look at the final game of the year. That's against Edmonton. That's should have playoff implications. Hopefully, who's first and who's second, because it's going to be a rough back half of this season.
Yeah, if you would have asked me before the season started, halfway mark, Riders will be 6-3. What do you think? I'd be like, okay, I'm okay with that. That sounds all right to me. Expected the team to maybe not have the same record as last year, just based on the amount of big time losses they had in the offseason. But when you look at all those injuries, and Steve, to your point there, just when you look at down to RB4, when you're down to your 8th receiver is starting now, you're down to, I mean, Jonathan Edward was the 4th halfback in that one spot. When you're down that far down into your roster and you're still 6-3, that's a pretty good thing. That's very impressive. And we've given the coaches props on this show just a couple weeks ago for having all these guys ready to go. And we're going to see some growing pains if we're going to have that many, backups play. And that's what I think this game was against Hamilton.
And the good news is, like, you look at what the Riders have done with their depth, and you look at like something like the Red Blacks or whatever. It's like a kiddie pool to Mariana's Trench. Like, we've got a ton of depth here. And no, I did not stutter. Like this is.
You're nailing them tonight. I'm proud of you.
He's got these written down somewhere.
I really don't.
Got a full page.
Yeah, come on, top of my head. But that is the difference. Like, the Riders have proven that they have the depth. Do they have the depth to compete with everybody? No, but they have the depth to be still a very good football team. It's just a matter of how long can you keep this up, because it's at some point it's just going to run out.
Well, we'll leave that game in the past. We'll start looking ahead to that BC game a little bit later on. Let's get back to our Piffles question of the week. Your favorite obscure rider of all time. Guy mentioned Bobby Thompson. Shane had Willis J. Cox. That's a good one. Tim gave us Steve Crane. I had to go, who?
Yeah. That there's the who's that of Rider Nation right there.
Yeah. So there we go. There's some obscure, a few obscure riders of all time. Steve, who do you have?
I feel like there's not really a shocking guess here, but mine has to be Keith Toston. The guy should have been a legend in Rider Nation. Pretty sure, and I'm going to clear this with Rob Vanstone, but he's got to be pretty close to the Rider record for career yards per carry average. He averaged 6 or 12 yards a carry. You just don't see that anymore. It just never got his fair shake. 6 carries, 72 yards. Yep. And I remember going to, what was it, the Lancaster pub back in the old days. We used to watch games, and that was where the Green Zone
they did their
party
pre- and post-game shows.
Yeah, the pregame. And I remember that day, the day he finally got his start. And we were all there. There's 3 of us.
I was there, actually, I think.
Yeah. We were legends on his first run. What was it, 40 yards, 45 yards, something like that. Yeah. I said, look at that. That's what you're missing out on. And then never again.
I'm pretty sure I was working that game at back at the station for the Green Zone in that one, because I remember Jamie and I texted me. He's like, "Are these your buddies with all the Toston jerseys?" Yes, as I say with shame.
Well, here we are years later.
Well, that reminds me of Stu Ford's first carry. It was 22 yards to the house for a touchdown, and then he took a 42-yard pass, and then they never used him ever again.
I used to have a touchdown flag I used to bring to games. It was just, I think it was one of those old beer flags with the Riders on it. That really awful beer that the team loves for some reason. But I used to write, every time somebody got a touchdown, their name would go up in big block letters on the flag. And yeah, Stu Ford, he's twice on that one. Yep.
Yeah, twice in one game, and that was it.
Good times back at Section 27 at Taylor Field.
Oh.
But hit us up with your favorite obscure Riders of all time. That is the opening kickoff presented by Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas down the street from Mosaic Stadium. Check them out for their summer sales now. Speaking of obscure Riders, maybe we have one here in Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Greg, you have a player from Rider lore, possibly obscure, possibly not. You're going to give us some hints, and we have to try and guess who that player is. The who's who and who's that of Rider Nation. And of course, the scale on this of difficulty is in Vanstones. Greg, how many Vanstones do we have this week?
This is a solid 3. You might get it by
closer
question
to a 5 then.
Yeah, you might get it by on question 5. You might.
Okay. Well, let's remember that guy.
How well do you know your Texas 3-star recruits? I guess that's going to be the answer.
Ooh. I'm more up on the 5-star recruits.
Oh, okay.
The 3 stars might, yeah.
Okay. This native of Garland, Texas, was a 3-star recruit out of high school.
Matt Dominguez.
No.
Oh, okay. It's from Texas.
Yeah. As a Red Raider, he was a all freshman on defense.
Yeah, definitely not Matt Dominguez. Okay.
Went undrafted in the NFL, then took a year off football before signing with the Riders.
Defensive player. Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah. Has called Miami and New York home as well.
Nowhere else in the CFL then?
Nope. And took a year off football before he signed with the Riders.
Nope, not coming to me.
Only has 1 career interception, and it was a 103-yard pick 6 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
I wish I had Rob Vanstone beside me so I could look at the list of longest pick 6s in Rider history, because that'd be up there. 103 yards. That was his only interception?
That's his only career interception in both leagues.
Oh, you got me.
Has 2 fumble recovery for TDs. So this man has scored 3 touchdowns professionally. 2 fumble recovery TDs, and 1 is against my New England Patriots.
Oh, no. No.
What were you thinking, Steve?
No. Mine was on offense. So ignore me.
Oh.
I spaced out after question 1. No. I feel like I know this.
And he's a decent enough bowler that we know from his time joining our bowling team.
Oh, Sam McGuavin.
Yes, it is.
He only had 1 interception?
Yep.
I guess.
Huh. You didn't give us any more stats either. I probably wouldn't have got it.
Would you get him on his tackle stats?
No.
Man.
But I kind of start thinking about that from now on because you always give us those.
Where is he now?
He is retired. He ended up on the last team he played for was the Jets. That was 2 seasons ago.
That'll do it to a lot of players.
Yeah, he signed $1 million. Here's the thing: in 2023, he signed $1 million contract with the Jets on August 6th, and then August 29th they released him, and then re-signed him to the practice squad.
Was Guavin the guy? I remember the story about because that was the Chris Jones era. Chris Jones hosting those the free agent camps. And Chris Jones would be the one at the table writing everybody's name down, collecting your $100 because that's what it costs to try out, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't look at names or anything, didn't look at the player, just took their money, wrote their name down, assigned them a number, and then that was it, right? And I'm pretty sure McGuavin's the guy that came in and Chris Jones literally head down, did not look at him. Yeah, okay, $100, perfect. Here's your number, and looked up later in the practice and be like, that guy's going to be a good player. Who is that guy? Oh, that's Sam McGuavin. He had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the story behind that. But yeah, walk on at a free agent camp and ended up becoming a very good player for a few years for us.
Well, yeah, 2 years, and then you end up in the league, and he had a decent run. Like it's amazing when. And this is what always ticks me off when there's guys that talk about how the CFL is not a real football. You've got stories like this where the NFL misses or doesn't draft a guy. And like I said, Guavin took a year off, went to a Riders free agent camp, had a couple good seasons with the Riders, and then had a 2019 to 2024, a 5-year NFL career.
It's got that pension now.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's why when people talk about the CFL being a lesser league, they just don't pay attention. There's really good
athletes. That's why you gotta learn to listen to the guys who have played in both.
Yeah,
and shown the CFL,
like Chris Strevler. What? Tell me I'm wrong, Steve.
Steve, my man. Steve, love you, man.
I'm never taking those out of the media.
Oh no, I got them ready to go in other places just in case.
Yeah.
I hate you both.
Feelings mutual, pal. Case in point, all those videos of Chris Strevler.
Yeah, right. Oh dear.
Sam McGuavin on Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Let's get to our Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. Want to get back to our Piffles question of the week, your favorite obscure rider of all time. And I want to bring up a couple of these. Joe has a good one here. My favorite obscure rider is Dallas Riceavi. Bonus points if any of you have ever heard of him. Well, considering I didn't know how to pronounce his last name, there's your answer, Joe. So that's that's obscure.
He's from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Oh, really?
Went to North Dakota, played for both the Saskatchewan and Ottawa Rough Riders and the Tiger Cats, apparently. Decent career from 94 to 96.
Well, there you go. Okay. Good one, Joe. That is very obscure. Arkell Trueluck.
See, this thing is...
I don't know if
I think that one was a guess on...
maybe.
On Remember That Guy. There's no way that was an obscure...
we'll go with this one.
That's not okay.
Sean Lucas. Sean Lucas might be the banned list just for him being the 13th man in 2009.
And knowing that that's a Bombers fan right there. So that was a shot.
But anyway, a couple other ones we got. Wanda said Johnny Quinn, receiver in was it 2010, 2011, somewhere around there.
2010, because he was a remember that guy, Bob's from bobsled.
Yep. Marshall had Darren Davis, of course, had a couple solid seasons at running back, and James gave us Randall Shrochenski, who was he was a long snapper, was a local guy as well too. So, but yeah, when you're talking long snappers, you're getting obscure when you start talking long snappers. You might as well throw Jocelyn Fournette in there as well too. But if you didn't hear his name, that means he did pretty well at his job.
Exactly. That's why no one knows long snappers.
Yeah. But of course, mine, and I don't.
The Elks or the Red Blacks, sorry.
Yeah.
From 2 weeks ago.
And my favorite rider obscure rider of all time, you guys know, it's Dennis Guile. There's no secret behind it. He is my guy forever and always. Quarterback coach down in Arizona now. Has a quarterback program as well. His one of his sons is in Div 2, I think, football. His other son is a really good dirt track racer. He's only like 14 or 15 years old, but he's really good. And Dennis Guile, yeah, the hold in 2004 was perfect. It was not his fault Paul McCallum missed that kick. That hold was perfect. Shout out my guy, Dennis Guile, my favorite obscure rider of all time. Still the president of his fan club, which was a real thing. His agent acknowledged it. So
There you go.
How many members did that fan club have?
Oh, I used to have a Word document, or maybe it was Notepad at the time because Word probably was too much money. But there's a few hundred on that list. There was a couple hundred. And I sent out, yeah, I know, right? And I sent out newsletters every single week updating on what happened with Dennis Guile. And it was pretty much all the same. Nothing.
He's still on the roster.
Yeah, he held another 2 field goals and a couple extra points. Yeah. But it was a very real thing. His agent did reach out to me. I remember that. But drop your favorite obscure riders in the comments. We want to have some fun, and we'll go through all these all week long on the socials as well to have a little bit of fun. Regina Thunder, Greg. I heard the Calgary Colts were pissed off at this game.
Probably. It was a good game.
Because the Thunder won 27-7.
Yeah. Once again, Thunder 2-0. What's even better is the Hilltops are 1-1, but
they lost to Edmonton,
who the Thunder blew the doors off the week before. But yeah, no, actually, I got to admit, Eli Buka had his defense absolutely rocking against the Thunder. I know the Thunder players were getting frustrated. They just could not seem to get a passing attack going. Luckily, good old Peter Borsch and Matthew Morris on the ground were really churning up the yards. But yeah, Calgary's got a fairly decent squad this year. It looks like the Wildcats figured it out after losing to the Thunder, because the Hilltops are obviously one of the best teams in the entire CJFL. And Edmonton beat the Rifles. So it should be interesting to see what happens this week when Calgary has the Hilltops this week, and then the Thunder open their first home game this week, 1:00 on Sunday at Libel against the Rifles. It should be a really good matchup.
Seems like there's a little bit more parity in the CJFL. Like it's obviously it's still the Thunder and the Hilltops that are 1 and 2 all the time, and they're going to be at the end of the season. But it seems like those teams are finally, getting a little bit better and better. I mean, except for Edmonton in that 56-1 loss to the Thunder last week. But they beat the
turned around and
Hilltops.
they built the Hilltops. Well, and it's funny because I've my one fantasy football group has some former Hilltops players in it, and they were absolutely losing their mind on Sunday, which is also making my mood a whole hell lot better. And I think I want to say it was like it's been like almost 20 years since the Wildcats put one up on the hilltops. Wanda's right, and Wanda would know. Wanda was there. Actually, I got the stats if I wanted to pull it up, but the Thunder defensively had a hell of a game as well.
Yeah, holding the Colts to less than 20 yards or so. So yeah, that's pretty damn impressive.
I do want to. We talked actually because before this I had a Thunder board meeting which I did remotely. I want to bring up, if you want to see a Thunder game, I would advise you to get season tickets this year because all games are at Libel, and if you have season tickets, which you can buy online through the website and as a digital ticket, you get early access to the seats, which are going to be very important against especially the Hilltops game because there's going to be limited seating available. So become a Thunder season ticket holder. And for $80 for the year, it's pretty good.
That's great value.
Yeah.
And that
I
first
might
home
have to change my pick on best bang for your buck in the sports entertainment world. I thought it was the Red Sox, but $80 for season tickets, that's a steal.
And this week also we've got not Super Dogs, but the Regina Kennel Club is doing one of those dog obstacle course things.
And I'm there
at halftime, and $2 hot dogs.
Oh, I'm not big on hot dogs anyway, but
yeah, 1:00 Sunday,
$2.
Libel Field. Show up early, buy season tickets, and yeah, it should be a fun time.
Also want to give a shout out to both Team Canada women's and men's national flag football teams. Both teams qualify for the LA Olympics in 2028. So the women getting to the gold medal game at the World Championships in Germany, and the men winning the bronze help them qualify. So both teams going to the Olympics in 2028. Love to see that. Look around the CFL. We'll go really quick here just because it wasn't the Toronto-Edmonton game. Whatever. Don't really want to talk about that. Ottawa-Winnipeg. Not so much that what Winnipeg did was impressive, but Ottawa, 15 straight losses now, a modern CFL record. I mean, it's one thing to suck, but 15 straight games, like you're getting to the point where fans will tune out, and that is not good.
Well, look what happened with the Elks. Everyone wants to talk about it was the name change, it was this, it was that. That home losing streak, if you know you're coming to a game and the Elks are going to lose it every time, you're not going to move tickets. And that's what's going to happen in Ottawa unless they get this turned around.
Well, I like that clip going around of Ryan Dinwiddie from, was it last September?
Yeah.
Taunting the Edmonton Elks bench after a win and not winning a single football game ever since. Not just the Red Blacks on a losing streak, but Dinwiddie himself is.
Dinwiddie too.
You know,
yeah.
You know, that's just as delightful, but well, we should be nice to him. He is responsible for a Ryder Grey Cup, I suppose. But I do agree. The Red Blacks need to start putting some wins together. They had a great run of having a very young fan base when they joined the league in that first couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fantastic fan base, and you're going to start to see it, and you have started to see it dwindle. And you can't blame them. The ineptitude of that organization continues to astound year after year.
And reassigning the president to a different spot in OSEG,
what they did, they took the Red Blacks off his portfolio, and that was it. Like, to me, that's a promotion, if anything. It's like, oh no, please do not pull me out of this tire fire. Like, the problem is roster construction and coaching, and you got to give Dinwiddie a little runway. But Sean Burke has been in that role since 2022 and has one winning season to show for it. Like, and that was a 9-8-1. Like, they should have probably been 9-9 at best. So at some point, the problem is right in front of you. Just deal with it.
What do you guys think of TSN doing the That's So Ottawa at halftime, showing them fumbling around and then going, "That's so Ottawa"? Because I saw a couple Ottawa fans on social media. Some thought that was hilarious because they realized the team is awful, and of course. But I saw a few that were really upset by that and was like, TSN, do better.
They were all in their feels on that one. But at what point, because like I even said in our power rankings this week, I'm running out of ways to be polite and funny about how bad this team is. Like, there's no fight, there's no effort, there's like, it's not even that Dinwiddie's lost. They just can't win because they just don't have the players in the right spot or in the right formations. And it's just, what do you do?
But at this point, I don't even know if it's the players, because it has been such a long, consistent streak of poor teams year after year that it's more than just the players, because they go out every offseason and spend a boatload of money on high-priced free agents like an AJ Allen and basically pilfering the Riders' defense. The players are clearly good enough. They're coming from solid organizations, but at some point you got to look beyond that and wonder where the problem is. I mean, maybe it was the president of the Red Blacks. Maybe that's the kick they needed. But I don't think the broadcasting partner needs to be, pouring gas on that fire. But on the flip side, it's entertainment. It's entertainment first, and that's their job.
I saw someone in my mentions, because when I was commenting on this, talked about how the president they want like a cheerleader. They want someone like Chris Morris. I'm like, if you need your president to be your biggest cheerleader, you've lost the plot. Like, that should not affect whether or not he is a football guy or not. Like, the culture is supposed to come like GM down, not your president. Like, if you need to go that high to bring the culture in, there's an issue. I just think the roster's poorly constructed, as proven by bringing in Jake Mayer and sending Drew Brown out. Like,
hitching your wagons to Jake Mayer. I mean, I don't know who could have told you that was a bad idea, but I'm sure somebody somewhere might have said that.
Alex for 2027 Red Blacks general manager.
First mode of your conduct of business: cut Jake Mayer. Start literally.
Your slogan: it couldn't possibly go worse.
That said, he hasn't been the biggest issue in Ottawa.
He hasn't.
Far from it, honestly. Like, he's not playing bad. He's not playing great, but he's not playing bad. Clip that, because that's about as nice as I'll ever be to Jake Mayer on this show. BC at Calgary. BC winning their third straight game. The big thing from that one is the injury late in the game to Vernon Adams Jr., potential concussion.
Potential. He got knocked the F out. Like, he did the like weird like swordsman arm thing. Like, he was out. Like, that was scary.
But he was walking around on the sidelines after, though, too, right? Usually they kind of keep guys off to the side, but he was still in with the team after. So, I mean, how serious it is, not really sure yet. They're not really giving us a lot on that. And with Calgary on their bye week right now, we're not gonna hear about it for a week. So, but hopefully VA is okay, because as a person, we're all huge fans of his.
Yep.
And the CFL, the league needs their quarterbacks. They need their number one players. They need their stars out there to market. So hopefully VA is okay. But BC winning their third straight. In the standings wise, that was probably the best result. Although I think the way things might be trending, I would have preferred a Calgary win in that one. But when in doubt, ABC, anyone but Calgary. But those Lions, that's who we have next, and that's what we're going to talk about. Time for the preview. Riders, Lions, this upcoming Sunday, August 23rd at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I didn't upload it. I'm uploading it now. That's why.
Oh, okay. I was trying to.
Yeah, I know you're looking for it.
Catch
I'm
that
like,
out.
I forgot something because I had a meeting before. I forgot.
That's all right. But
Who hires that guy?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Riders, Lions, Sunday night. Rourke in the offense for the Lions. They're starting to heat up. That said, I still think that they're not firing on all cylinders just yet. So what is the keys to stopping that BC Lions offense that they're getting healthier, right? With their receivers, and the Riders are not getting healthier anywhere. So what's the key to stopping that BC Lions offense?
I think the biggest one is tightening up that zone defense. We've watched Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo, even Harrison Frost a little bit, and Jake Mayer tear that defensive unit apart for yards after yard after yard. You're not going to be able to do that against a guy like Nathan Rourke. He will pick that zone apart. So yeah, I think it's a combination, but the biggest thing is get to him, hit him hard, hit him often, disrupt his game, because you give him time and we're in trouble.
Well, I also think it's funny because we're talking about you got to get to the quarterback, you got to stop the receivers. And you also got to watch out for their running game. Xander Horvath is becoming a weapon in this league.
Yes.
And they still got James Butler on the roster as well. It's one of those, if the left hand don't get you, the right hand will. So they've got to play a solid defensive game against BC, and they got to figure out their offense. The offense is going to be the biggest thing. Is if they have an offense like they did against the Ticats, it's going to be over early against a team as good as the Lions.
Well, we've seen Justin McInnes absolutely decimate this Riders secondary with that zone defense that they do play. So I agree. It's tighten up that zone just a little bit. Make your tackles. That was a big issue in the Hamilton game, was being just a yard out of position and missing tackles. They've been pretty good most of the season at not allowing players to break tackles, but big body guys like Javon Katoy, Xander Horvath, they can absolutely bust through arm tackles. So when you get the chance to hit the guy, it's wrap him up, right? Like once you get there, you have to stop him. Can't let him carry you for 4 or 5 more yards. And I don't want to single person out on this defense because they're all in it together, but Jackson Ford needs to be a little bit better. Just in pass coverage, he's just not there yet. I know that they're playing shorthanded with Nelson Lacombo playing at corner for Tavon Campbell. Roland Milligan's out. So I know it's a kind of a jumbled secondary that we're going with, but this is our secondary. They all have to be better. Yep. But there are times where Ford looks very good in run coverage, in run defense, but when it gets to pass coverage, that becomes an issue. And there was a comment here from Steve: don't be letting receivers get behind you. So that goes to all of them, not just the safety in this one, but don't let those receivers like Keon Hatcher, Justin McInnes get behind you, because Rourke can make all those throws. He'll scramble around, he'll make things happen, and you just got to prevent those from happening. So it's going to be tough for the defense. The defense is going to need turnovers in this one, because I can see BC putting up 30 points. Riders will need some turnovers, and that's just something that we haven't seen this year. Whether it's just getting a lucky bounce on a fumble or something, but they gotta do something here. And for the Riders offense, with the receiving, get healthy.
Yeah.
Let's say, and I know we haven't seen anything from practice yet because they don't practice until Wednesday. It's Tuesday night here as we do this. Let's assume Sam Emelis is good to go. Keyshawn Johnson's still a question mark. Don't really know yet. But let's say that Keyshawn plays, Sam Emelis comes back. Is that going to be enough for the Riders offense to kind of get back into gear after what we saw against Hamilton?
Are they going to continue running the ball and not turn into a one facet offense? Because if they do that, then no, it doesn't matter who they've got out there. If they don't show the run for an entire 4 quarters, I don't see it being enough.
But at least if you had Emlis out there, you don't have them keying on Keyshawn. Like you said, no one's scared of DDB. No one's scared of old Johnny Johnson. Like, they need a 1A and a 1B back out there, because without that definitely flattens out this passing offense by quite a bit.
Man, what's Dante Myers up to right now?
Probably
Leading the
making the
Bengals in
Cincinnati Bengals.
receiving.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
No, not a chance. Take shots on offense. That was one thing that we didn't see at all in Hamilton. They didn't try to press the ball down the field at any time. Can be with Deshaun Mims. It doesn't matter. Take a shot. Johnny Johnson, what the heck? F it, he's down there somewhere. Just toss it up once in a while, just to give BC that thought that you might go deep, just to get them to back off a little bit off the defenders, to open up that room in the intermediate where Trevor Harris is very, very good at. Just they can't just always go short and expect anything to change. They've had good success against this BC defense this season, obviously in the home opener, the West Final last year, when they do press the ball and throw those 15, 20-yard intermediate routes. So I'd like to see some more of those, because we didn't really get a lot of those in the game against Hamilton.
Well, I think it was halftime. They only had one pass over 20 yards, and that was 21. Like, they didn't try to push the ball at all. And at some point, the defense is going to clue up on that and then start moving guys in closer to the box. And that's going to throw in those short intermediate routes completely out the window.
Just new looks. Give us some new looks, because that will be, if they're new to us, they're going to be new to the BC Lions. So try to confuse them a little bit. And again, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a grinding type game. It's not going to be pretty. Don't expect a 400-yard passing game from Trevor Harris. I don't think that's going to be in the cards, but who knows? They've proved me wrong in BC before over the last couple of years. So,
oh no, those BC games, I always expect them to go sideways, because
so do I. But every time that I expect that, AJ Ouellette has a big game, and then Dante Myers has a huge game last year in BC, right? So who knows? Maybe somebody steps up and we have one of those where we get up 20 points quick. I sure hope so. That would be great. I don't expect it, but that'd be great to see. But
we've seen a relaxing fourth quarter this season. I'd love a relaxing second half. That'd be
we did see one last week.
Yeah, we saw a very relaxing one. They were fully relaxed on that one.
Yeah, not what I want.
But with no practices to go off, no injury update just yet. We'll get that tomorrow when the Riders hit the field for their first practice. So we'll be watching that and the injury report on social media. But we will have our post-game show again Sunday, probably around 8 o'clock, just after the final whistle. We'll jump on for a few minutes and chat about that game. So make sure you join us. That game, of course, or the post-game will be sponsored by the Regina Thunder.
And honestly, you go to the Thunder game at 1, you get home.
Perfect timing.
Order in if you have to. Food shows up for the Rider game, Piffles. Like it's a good afternoon.
That sounds good to me. Well, one thing left to do this week, and that is to get to our picks for the week. It's time for Piffles Picks.
Piffles Picks.
Well, folks, when you write 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
I'm back.
1-3 last week, Steve. But yeah, you still have a 2-game lead on us.
That's more like it, though. That's
the
me we all know and love.
I was 3-1 because the Riders couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
Well, still in first.
Imagine taking both Toronto and Ottawa.
Who would do that?
Soccer. Yeah, who would do that?
Idiots. Idiots. There's some games that I think are going to be absolute blowouts this week. Well, one for sure, and that's the first one. Ottawa at Montreal on Thursday. I'm not making the mistake again, pardon me, of taking Ottawa. I don't care what the spread is. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, here we go. This is gonna be fun.
I'm taking Montreal. I don't care what the spread is. I'll guess first on this one. I'll say that it's Montreal 9.5.
Oh, it's at least double digits. This is awful. What's the biggest spread we've seen doing this?
I don't know. Probably should have kept track, but
I think there was at the end of the season last year, there might have been like a 13 or a 14 point.
I'm going to go 13 and a half.
Should have went with your first instinct because I think you were about to say 12 and a half because that's
it was.
Ooh, that's so many points. Yeah, I told you, Montreal. I'm not making that mistake again.
The over under is 62 and a half, just so you know.
Tyson Philpott might get that himself.
Yeah. I believed Ottawa could cover once. They didn't. I'm never falling for the Pretenders ever again. They are a bad football club.
That is a lot of points. I can't do it. Montreal.
I mentioned Tyson Philpott might get that over himself. He is the guest on the latest Seat with Strev. Steve, I know you've already watched that because you subscribe to him on YouTube. So
I do actually. You know what? I'm not even going to pretend I don't. His stuff's fun.
I knew it.
Should have had him on the show 2 years ago. I might have been a fan. Probably not.
Game 2, Winnipeg at Edmonton. Do you want to guess on this one, Steve?
Edmonton 6.5.
Edmonton 2.5.
Edmonton 5.5, but that has moved in some spots to 4.5.
I think Winnipeg wins this one outright.
It is Winnipeg on the road.
Yeah.
At home they suck against teams not named Ottawa.
I don't know if Winnipeg wins it, but I think they cover. I feel like after Edmonton's game last week, I think they come back down to earth a little bit. Winnipeg, don't like it, but
I'm going Edmonton.
Who would you guys want to win this one as Rider fans?
Stadium fire.
Do you want like it comes down to, okay, do you want to try and catch Edmonton for first, or not bury? It wouldn't bury Winnipeg yet, but keep that distance between us and Winnipeg for potentially second.
I think if you want the Riders to have the West Final, you got to hope Winnipeg wins this one.
I'm the opposite. I would rather keep Winnipeg down. Like the other Steve in the comments says, bury the Bombers.
I agree, Steve's. Hamilton at Toronto in Game 3. That'll be on Saturday. Assuming it's going to be Trey Ford for Hamilton. I'm going to guess. This one might be pretty close. I'm going to guess Toronto 1.5.
I'll go 3.5.
4.5, but it has moved to 3.5 in some spots.
Something about
3.5 is their go-to starting point.
Yeah. What do you guys got?
I got Toronto.
I think Toronto as well. Don't get me wrong, they looked terrible last week, but I'm talking myself out of it. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Hamilton in this one. At the very least, to keep it within a field goal.
I think Hamilton might actually have it. I think if they start with Trey Ford, they actually have a chance. Chad Kelly is looking really chaotic right
I said Trey Ford gives them their best chance to win, but also gives them their best chance to lose, depending on the
that's
defense
nice.
that you want to play too, right?
Well, and Toronto's defense has shown cannot be good. So I think even if they get a little pressure on Trey Ford, he's going to go street ball, and like Hamilton could win it in a walk. I'm not saying they will, but they could.
And
Like, all options are available on this game.
Yes.
It could go either way.
And the final game, of course, our game Sunday, Riders at BC. Steve, do you want to take a guess on this one?
Riders 1.5.
Huh.
That's where it started. It has now flipped.
I was going to say, it's BC got to be favored, right?
Yeah, BC is now the favorite.
I think there's... Yeah. So we're playing the Riders favored 1.5. I can't see. I just don't see them winning this game. I just think the injuries are just too much right now. And with games coming up, the back-to-back, like after this, we have Toronto, and then looking at the Labor Day and Banjo Bowl back-to-back, like the team's not looking ahead to that just yet, but I think that's coming up pretty quick, and that pressure of those games is going to start coming up. And I've been wrong a lot this year, so I'm going to go with BC, hoping that I'm wrong again.
And I've been right a lot this year, so I'm going to go with the Riders.
I hope it's a 1-point Rider win so that I win that. I pick up that game on you, Steve.
I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine
not
with
if
that
Greg
too.
picks BC, but
I'm not taking
you.
BC on this one.
I'm good.
I've been King Homer for the last 2 seasons, so it's hard for me not to pick the Riders on this one. I want to believe that after the way they stunk up the place in Hamilton, and when Corey Mace is that's bad football and you can't play, or that was bad ball and you can't play bad ball in professional football, I want to say everyone's locked in this week. So I like the Riders on the road, which I don't know why, but I do.
I mean, I don't think they'll have another output like we saw in that second half against Hamilton. I just don't think it's in this team's DNA to make that a consistent thing. So I think that bodes well for the team. This is going to be, again, like I said, they're going to need a couple turnovers. But this is going to be a very tight game, which we've kind of come to expect from BC and Saskatchewan over the last couple seasons. So I just see more of the same. And hopefully we get the ball last, because against BC, that seems to be the big key for us.
That is a big thing to have, is making sure you got the ball last in a game in BC.
But we will see you guys after that game on the Piffles Podcast post-game show, brought to you by the Regina Thunder. So hopefully we're having some celebratory Sunday drinks with that one.
I need to break into this on Sunday. It's been a while since I've had a celebratory drink out of this bottle.
I got mine I haven't even cracked mine open yet.
I've got the second bottle. This is for
Mine's back there
wins on the
somewhere.
postgame. Yeah.
Smoky old fashions if we win.
There you go.
There we go. Well, we will leave it there. Piffles Podcast, brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making this show possible. Chat, thanks for all the comments. We love it. Thanks for bringing them all up here. We see them. Thank you so much. And all the comments about your obscure riders on social media. We love it. Keep those coming throughout the week. We want to know who your favorite obscure Rough Rider player of all time is. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on SaskTel Max TV on demand. This is Goes Behind Your Mind by Tyler Gilbert.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.